I lost 100 pounds and I did it again on camera. 45 pounds in 90 days, fully documented every single day. And in this time frame, my fiance also lost 30 pounds. So I know what works and I know what doesn't. If you're seeing progress on the scale, doing everything right, and then it just stops, I'm gonna help you fix that with some science-backed tips. Tracking calories isn't essential, but I just wanna make sure that we understand science and know the baseline from a numbers standpoint. So we have maintenance calories. If we drop off 500, that equals minus 1 pound per week. If we double that and do minus 1,000 calories, then that equals 2 pounds lost per week. Eat how you're normally eating, consume all the liquids, foods, everything, keep it normal, and just use an app like MyFitnessPal and track the calories for 3 days in a row. Don't change a single thing, and then you'll know if you're actually hitting the mark. Now, normally in this progress, I, like probably many of you, have made the mistake of I'm not losing weight, so I just need to cut more calories. Let me tell you why that backfires. The body is meant to survive, not to look good. And so when we continually dropping calories and we're not getting enough, the body basically is signaling that, okay, we are in a famine stage and we need to conserve energy. And so we're actually gonna be burning less calories at rest. And so just cutting down the calories, you're going to make it less and less effective at burning fat. So what we need to do is reestablish a baseline of safety with the body to let it rev up the engine again and get back to burning fat at an optimal speed. The most effective tip and most counterintuitive tip, but backed by science, most effective, is doing a refeed. So like I said, getting our body back to homeostasis where it can feel comfortable at burning fat at rest a lot better is by eating at our maintenance calories. So like I said, if you want to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week, you're going to be in a deficit 500 to 1,000 calories below maintenance. All we want to do is just raise back 500 to 1,000 calories, whatever deficit you're in, come back to eating maintenance calories on purpose for a few days to a week, and it will allow your body to feel safe again. We're back in the camp. There's no bear lying around. We're getting sustenance on a consistent basis so we can get back to increasing that motor, increasing that fire, and burning fat at a great rate again. This is one of the hardest concepts when I deal with clients, and even myself, I struggle with it in the beginning a lot. I looked online, saw calculators. I met with a coach, and he was telling me to do the same thing. I had been under eating, fasting, doing a lot of cardio, dropping calories. And he was like, told me the exact same thing that I told you. And I was like, no way. I don't want to get fatter. That is just going to be terrible. And it took me weeks to actually come around to the idea of trying it. And once I did, I'm telling you this right now, it works. It worked over my 45-day series that I recorded. And there was literally days in it where I know for myself the science, but it's just such a psychological and mental battle with it. You just have to get over it and just try for 3 days. That's all I'm asking for, of getting back to maintenance, and you're going to be burning more fat. You might even lose weight in that process because your body is going to be burning more calories. The next tip would be adding output before removing input. Cardio and how fast we want to lose fat. It's easy mentally to go from like, I need to do an hour of cardio today, from doing 0. No, it is just about progressively overloading. Because again, if you go from 0 minutes of cardio to 30 or 60 minutes a day, your body is going to adapt to that, and then you're going to be in the same situation of plateau. It is about slowly scaling over time. So how I did it, especially over the last 90-day challenge, is I start with 15 minutes, 3 to 4 days a week of cardio, and then the next week I do 20 minutes. Next week I do 30 minutes. Zone 2 cardio is basically doing a walking or stair climb, whatever it is, but you can have a conversation while doing it, and it is the most studied zone for fat loss. And it's low impact enough where it doesn't take away from muscle and what you do inside the gym in terms of weightlifting. The next tool is how we stay full. And maybe you don't want to take a GLP-1. I never have, and I like doing it a natural way. Here's natural foods that you can use in supplements that will keep you full for longer. And these are ranked from best to least. The most important one is protein. Protein keeps us the fullest the longest. It takes a lot of energy and calories burned to actually break down the protein. And for me, my clients, it's the most important macronutrient out of everything. I eat 1 gram of protein per pound body weight. Second best is water before meals. When I drink 16 ounces of water or just a glass of water 30 minutes before eating, I notice I get full a lot quicker. And there's actual 12-week long studies where people did this exact thing and lost 44% more weight than people that did not have water 30 minutes before eating. Third tip is psyllium husk powder. I made a video, it's my most watched video on my channel, and it is a psyllium husk supplement powder that I just mix with some water, and I drink that 15 to 30 minutes before I'm eating lunch or dinner, and it keeps me full for so much longer. It also coats the inside of the stomach and acts as a protective armor so that you're not absorbing carbs so quickly, so you don't get that spike and drop off in energy. Another great one is having warm or hot soup before dinner. Research shows that it reduces caloric intake by up to 20%. Basically just stretches the stomach and tells it it's full before the food even comes. Next one is vegetables. High volume, low calories. Basically to get fuller, eat more food, always enjoyable, and have way less caloric intake. Next thing is cutting liquid calories. The issue with liquid calories is that they don't fill you up. Juice, soda, sweetened coffee, alcohol, they add 0 calories and have 0 satiety. The last one is to stop grazing. Unplanned snacking makes it really hard to account for it, and it adds up. It's a secret deficit killer. If you just keep it simple of like 2 to 3 structured meals and then maybe 1 snack or a protein shake in there, it is way easier to track without having to actually dial it into your phone every single time you eat. But a handful of this and a handful of that, or a sip of this and that, and it just adds up and can break a deficit really quickly, and you're just doing all this hard work and destroying it in 10 to 15 minutes in a day. The next tip is resistant starch, and most of you have probably never heard of this. Resistant starch has this effect on the body where it bypasses the small intestine and goes right to the colon and feeds on good bacteria. And those bacteria produce short chain fatty acids that improve insulin sensitivity and metabolic signaling. And research shows that 40 grams of resistant starch a day can reduce that visceral fat, that really dangerous fat that is around the vital organs, faster than any other dietary intervention. And 2 of the best starch-resistant carbohydrate sources are cooked and then cooled, like potatoes or rice. And something about that cooling process after cooking it allows it to become a starch-resistant carbohydrate source. I really like trying everything above that I've already talked about, but if you want to get a little bit more advanced, there's also carb cycling. And I did this in my 90-day thing. I was trying a bunch of different patterns, and I just wanted to show this and talk about it so you understand. So I ran my numbers. I weigh 250 pounds, and my protein number is fixed every single day of the week. On training days, I eat around 2,400 to 2,500 calories, 200 to 250 grams of carbs around the workouts. And then on rest days, I'll have 2,000 to 2,200 calories. So about 400 or so less calories on the non-training days, 75 to 100 grams of carbs on the non-training days. So I'm basically cutting the carbs that I usually have on workout days in half on the days that I'm resting or just doing cardio. My higher carbohydrate days fuel recovery and performance, and my low carbohydrate days are pulling from stored fat. No single version or tool of these beats all the others. It is just about finding what you can consistently do, because consistency beats perfection. And lastly, this is the most important one that a lot of people need to be honest with themselves, and it's always a constant mental battle for me to go through this, but it's so important. Every system that we have has a bottleneck. If you fix the bottleneck, the whole system improves. For me, it was always nighttime eating. I would do really well with my eating and working out, and then when nighttime would come, I would just snack and not track these things, and I'd eat up right up close to bedtime. And so I just fixed the bottleneck by one simple rule of I stop eating 3 hours before bedtime. My fat loss became almost automatic. Not because I added anything crazy, I just removed one thing that was blocking everything else from working. Your bottleneck might be alcohol or afternoon snacking or not having ready-made meals, so you kind of eat on fast food. There's just one thing that is causing a lot of other issues. The Pareto principle of 20% of the things causing 80% of it. You just need to find that 20% thing that you're doing that's causing 80% of the issues. Here's the order of the strategic things. Number 1 is refeed. 1 to 2 weeks eating at maintenance calories. Number 2 is add cardio progressively. Build volume like you build weight in the gym. Number 3 is satiety tools, protein, water, psyllium husk, soup, vegetables, cut liquid calories out. Number 4 is resistant starch. We want to cool our rice and potatoes before we eat them. Number 5 is carb cycling, if you can consistently do it. Number 6 is find your bottleneck and eliminate it. This plateau isn't failure. is just your body adapting to what we're doing and staying alive. The people who get through this and over this plateau hump are the ones that adjust the system for success instead of hammering harder on something that isn't working. If you want a free guide on this, I have one in the description below. Just put your name, email, and I'll send it right over to you. It's the 72-hour body reset made for getting past plateaus. I also have a newsletter where I send weekly tips, tricks, and tools that help you with health, wellness, nutrition, recovery every single week. And I appreciate you for watching this far. If you found something helpful, please subscribe and like a video. I'm trying to grow this platform to the moon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.